I was in an ambulance earlier this year. Did I tell you this?
No.
I actually was in an ambulance twice. The first time a saw fell on my head.
What? Where
Yeah.
were you?
I was in my shed, and I had a miter saw, and it was on a top shelf. And I think I was pushing something back. Oh, I was pushing a tool chest back. And I think it pulled the cord down, and it fell on top of my head. But also, I was crouched down while doing it, so it was like a 5-foot fall.
And then did it knock you out?
No, but I was like, that's not good.
At least it'll be a good story.
My kids were in the yard, so I was like, I got to act cool. But I could tell that wasn't good.
And you got knocked pretty hard.
Yeah.
And you play hockey too.
Dude,
so
and
it's like
and another thing too is that when I went like this, because it actually hit me right here.
blood.
When I went like this, my hand was covered in
Yeah.
blood. And so that kind of, I was like, oh gosh, I'm like gushing. They
It's a
said
very vascular part of your body, so they bleed a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then the ambulance came. My mom was home. She was like, I'm going to call the ambulance. And I was like, okay. And I remember the paramedic was like, I think you're all right. I think it's just probably, but I don't want to clear you. I think you should go get a scan. And I was like, what do you think the scan will show? And he was like, if I were you, I would go get a scan. So I went and I got a scan. And the thing is, I had just gotten back into the country that day, and it was my son's birthday party the next day. So, yeah, that night, that whole day, I was waiting for my scan. And of course, by the time I basically was there, I felt good. I was back to normal.
You're like, yeah,
Yeah. It was scary in the moment, but paramedics were great. Took good care of me. And then the second time was that my son had a seizure, like his first day of school.
no way.
Yeah. And we got a call.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. And so my wife called me. She was like, hey, you got to go. One of us has to go to the hospital and ride in the ambulance with him.
What grade is he in now?
Kindergarten. It was literally the first Friday of school.
Wow.
And yeah, he just had a seizure on the playground, I think, because he was like going too hard or something.
Just going hard in the paint.
Going way too hard in the paint.
What the heck?
Yeah, so it was like...
Does he have epilepsy or something? What'd they say?
No, they were a little concerned about it, but they think it was febrile.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because he...
When your temperature spikes too fast?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
at like 1018.
Was he sick already?
We didn't check his temperature in the morning, but he did say he wasn't feeling good. We also just thought it was like, oh, you're 5 years old.
Yeah.
Like it's hard.
Everyone
to
doesn't feel good before school.
It's hard to believe a 5-year-old doesn't want to go to school.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I did that with my mom for years. I was like, I feel like I can't really like see the board in school. But I had told her when I was younger that I really wanted glasses.
When did
So
you get
she was
glasses? Are those real?
Yeah, these are real.
I figured.
Yeah. You think I'd be wearing fake glasses?
Dude, I don't know. Dude,
But
lots
yeah,
of
no,
imposters out there.
I told her, I was like, I feel like I can't see the board, like especially when I'm sitting in the back of class. She's like, okay, you're fine. I did the vision test in school, and they sent home a letter that said like,
You couldn't see?
Mr. and Mrs. Mitchell, can you please take him to the eye doctor for further evaluation because he didn't do well on his vision test.
Dude, that as a parent, like there is nothing when somebody else tells you something about your kid. Like a perfect example, we're a pretty healthy family. My son stepped. He's 1.5 years old. He stepped wrong.
Yeah.
Down a stair, and he broke his foot or leg or something. He broke one of the lower parts.
What the heck?
And that was on a Friday night. And we're like, oh, poor kid. But we didn't think it was broken. And we didn't take him to the hospital, I think, to get an x-ray till Thursday.
So like almost a week later.
Yeah. And we were they're like, oh yeah, pretty clean break. Like, is no question about it.
Was it swollen or anything for throughout the week?
No, I don't know. I don't think so.
Was he?
That's the thing is that he was walking, but he was also crawling. But we realized he stopped walking.
So he just went back to crawling. What a beast.
And then sometimes when I would change him, you have to like hold his legs up.
Yeah.
And he would cry. And so that's when I was like, man, he must have really twisted his ankle.
Oh man, Poor guy. Can you imagine now going a week with a broken leg?
I felt so bad.
Yeah, but I mean,
Probably
you don't
similar to
know.
your parents when they were like,
Well,
yeah, your son can't see.
I don't blame her at all. She didn't know. They didn't know, and I had also told them before, like, I want glasses. And I was also the kid that was like, the clinic lady in my elementary school had multiplication flashcards for me because I would always go to the clinic with a stomach ache during math class. A stomach ache during math class. And so I don't blame my parents at all. It's okay. That's a new concept I've been thinking about a lot recently. I'm not a parent yet, and I hope to be someday. But I think there's so much grace for parents. Obviously, there are things that are like way deeper things that, people need to forgive their parents for, or they need to work towards forgiveness with their parents about. But I'm actually like thinking about writing a song soon about like, you're just like you're a kid, but you have a younger human being that looks to you like you have all the answers in the world.
Dude, I mean, that's so true because you don't parenting is like one of those things that's so fluid. Like you don't know how your kid's going to behave that day. You don't know like if they're going to be in a great mood. You don't know if they're going to like throw their little brother off the couch. And then so it's like you basically have to learn how to react in real time. And so parenting is really just like a lot of it's just figuring it out as you go. At least that's what I've learned.
And like try not to carry, I don't know, like it blows my mind because I gave my parents such a hard time growing up. Like I was probably a pretty difficult child to have. And I think they did an excellent job not carrying the frustration from the prior day into the next day.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be a great song.
Yeah.
I love the concept of it.
It blows my mind because I don't, like right now, if I were to have a kid, I don't know what I would do at all. I don't even know where to start. And obviously everyone like probably feels that fear whenever they get the news. Obviously there's excitement. There's probably a lot of emotions, but I don't even know where I would start.
You will never feel ready. If you're like waiting and you're like, oh, I'm finally ready to have this kid or like to be a parent. People are like, oh, we're waiting to be ready to have kids. It's like, you're going to be waiting forever. I don't know.
You're not going to be like,
I have 3 and I still don't feel ready.
Yeah. It's like that. What's that saying? I have clay feet or whatever. Like I'm not perfect.
I've never heard of that, but I believe you.
My dad says it.
Clay feet?
Clay feet.
Like they're made out of clay?
Let me look it up.
I have clay feet. Is it a song?
No, I think it's like a saying.
Dude, you should make a song called I Have Clay Feet. You should call it Clay Feet.
Feet of clay is an idiom that refers to a weakness or character flaw.
Huh.
Especially in people of prominence and power.
What if it was like especially with people with no feet?
Yeah, it's like just saying clay feet is saying that you have hidden weaknesses.
So like an Achilles heel.
Yeah, exactly.
Lots of foot metaphors.
Oh, it comes from how statues can fall if they have weak feet. So episode 1 of your unnamed podcast, it'll have a name eventually. The podcast.
What about that? At least it'll be a good story. I have this policy. Actually, my friend Andrew King was the one who I think originally told me it. But it was, it'll either be a great experience or great story.
Yeah.
I think when I made that sign, it said, I was trying to get at least it'll be a great story, but it wouldn't fit.
Did you get it? You got that made?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, because I mean, it's a great policy to live by.
I know. I feel like sometimes I go back and forth between this idea that like, I don't know, I want to be obedient, if you will, to my calling on this earth, but at the same time, it's like, I think we can really overcomplicate that.
Yeah.
And like, if you stay rooted in truth, then you can kind of do just about whatever.
Totally.
Obviously with the caveat that you need to stay rooted in truth. But at least it'll be a good story. I think that's great. Because you even like back to the parenting thing, or if we were to talk about parenting, like I said before, I don't have kids. I don't know what it's like to have kids. But you don't want to like, you want to be able to tell your kid like stories of like, I was trying to do this. I was trying to like work this out and it didn't work. and we pushed over this mountain and
then it
or
worked.
it yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't, as a dad, you're like, well, why are you doing this podcast? As a dad, I don't want to have my kids look at me. I know that my kids will I hope they love me regardless. But I don't want them to look at me and be like, man, I wish my dad did more. Like, I wish my dad really utilized his talent. Like, he could have done, I don't know. I don't look at my parents that way. I'm not like, oh, wow, I wish my mom made more spreadsheets. I don't even know what she did. But, like, yeah. And I wouldn't necessarily say that that's a fear, but I think that it's an extra motivation now as a dad where you're like, man, now that I have 3 people looking up to me, it's like, I better give it my all. Or at least, like, I should try.
Yeah.
Why not try? The reason why I wanted to have you on is because you have quite a career.
I'm trying to figure it out.
So what's your day job?
Well, yeah, so I'm a full-time firefighter, and also I just wanted to say thank you for having me on your first episode of your first podcast.
Dude, it might be the only episode. Just kidding. No, we'll get some more people.
You definitely will. Because this is my first podcast
Really?
experience ever. So thank you.
Wow.
I hope that...
Dude, you should do I think you should do the first 3 episodes.
Really?
I don't know. Maybe the first 4. We could do a Caleb season.
I'm down. I'm down for whatever. I seriously am down for whatever. I love the idea. I love this. And I think that actually, like, to answer your question, I am fascinated by dreams. I'm fascinated by dreaming, and I'm fascinated with watching my friends chase dreams. And even if it leads to, like, learning lessons or a so-called failure in whoever's eyes it is.
It's a good story, though.
It's such a good story.
It's a good story.
It's so fun.
I love that.
Because we live in this day and age where I think once you, like, can get your feet underneath you and, like, you're able to start, like, walking, there's a lot of resources out there between, I mean, like, the internet, like, just itself that just explodes the potential. And I don't know. It's crazy to be in this world where dreaming is more accessible than ever.
You basically, I think, for the first time, truly can pave your own path. Like, for filmmaking, you used to have to live in LA. Now you can live Nashville, like, you can live wherever you want and make videos. Music,
especially with social media.
Yeah. You just got to get in front of the right people.
Yeah.
And
it's so true.
And beforehand, getting in front of the right people meant physically being in front of them. And now I think it's like they just need to scroll.
Yeah, which is insane. And everyone is scrolling.
Everyone's scrolling.
My day job currently is I work for a local fire department just outside of Washington, D.C.
Ambulance driver still or no?
Yeah. So I drive everyone in the jurisdiction that I work for is a firefighter. So that's like firefighter 1 and 2. Kind of just teaches, that's like the very basic firefighter skills. And then we're all EMTs as well. At least at the minimum, we're all EMTs.
Do you get to hold a hose?
Yeah. So the rotation is like, depending on what firehouse you work at, you'll drive the ambulance for a few days, and then sometimes you'll work as they call it like aide or the officer in charge on the ambulance. So you're like in the back with the patients and kind of providing patient care after a medic clears and says that, like, they bless you essentially to be like, okay, you're good to take this person to the hospital. And then other tours, a tour is like a set of 3 days. So we work 24-hour shifts. They're like, last week we worked Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I just had Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Today's my last day off, and I go back to work tomorrow.
For 3 days? For
3 days. So you usually ride in like one riding position for a tour at a time. So last tour I was on the ambulance, then I'm on the truck this tour, and there's all different, like, jobs, I guess, if you will.
What do you like
responsibilities. Most? I honestly like it all.
Yeah.
Like, even if I'm, depending on staffing, like, you'll get sent to another firehouse to, like, fill in where they have holes, and I love it all. Like, I really do. I do like being at home, like at my home firehouse with the guys that I work with every single day. But I mean, I like it all. It's all so fun.
When did you decide you wanted to be a firefighter?
I feel like from a young age, I always thought it was cool. It's actually a crazy story. I went to preschool in Herndon, Virginia, and I distinctly remember the day that the fire department came by and they did their little presentation. They showed us the engine, and they're like, here's how we put our gear on. And I was like, this is so cool. I would love to do that someday. And fast forward, I don't even know however many years. I'm horrible at math, but fast forward a bunch of years, I was the rookie at the firehouse doing the same presentation for my preschool.
That's sick.
Yeah,
Full
so
circle.
cool. Yeah. But back then I was like, it would have been so cool to be a firefighter. And then my super close family friend was a captain in the fire department, and he would always like bring his buggy by our house, and we'd listen to the radio on New Year's to see who would get the first call. And I always thought it'd be cool. And then junior year of high school.
What do you mean by gets the first call?
Oh, like people place bets to see who like will get the first call of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a real thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing like crazy. I bet you some places they put money down, but
I had no idea about this. What a crazy underground market.
I know.
Wait, so what was the first, because this is January 5th, what was the first call, or 6th?
I think the first call of the year was...
Were you working?
Yeah, I was. We worked New Year's Eve. This year we worked... We were off on Easter, but then we worked on Halloween. We worked on Thanksgiving. We worked on Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. I know.
Man, is there pride if you're like, even though it's an accident and you're like in an ambulance or your house is on fire? Is it like, yeah, like when you get there, you're like, just so you know, this was the first call?
No. I mean, it would stay like within the crew.
Oh, all right.
And at that point, you're probably being woken up anyway. So you're
Fair.
like, oh, that's cool. We got the first call of the year. But I was up and watched the first call of the year come in. And I think it was Fire Station 22. They're out in Springfield.
Oh, okay. For the county.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
Oh, yeah. No, not like in the nation. Yeah. No, it's just for the county.
Dude, the nation one would be crazy.
Yeah. And that would come down to the millisecond for sure.
Yeah. Imagine calling 911 first thing you do in a year. Like the year could only go up.
Yeah. I guess that's probably a huge pro.
What's the difference between if it's like, oh, that's a 3-alarm fire or 5-alarm fire? What is that?
Yeah. So that's just based off the amount of people that you get.
What?
Like whenever you call 911 for a fire, it's like 4 engines, 2 trucks, a rescue squad, a battalion chief. Like there's a whole allotted amount
Of fires? Of
apparatus and people that you get. And they will add that same amount. Like they multiply that times 2. Everybody that you just got.
So if it's a 2-alarm, it's that times 2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's just based off how many people.
So
go in the
every fire has like a 1-alarm fire?
Yeah.
So if it's like a pallet behind a Sears?
It would be like an outside fire. But then if it's like...
Isn't all fire outside eventually?
I guess so. Yeah.
Unless it's in a kitchen. But, I mean, if it's bad enough, it'll be outside.
Then it'll be outside, yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I always read that. They're like, oh, yeah, 3-alarm fire in Sterling. You're like... I'm like, oh... I thought that maybe like 3 smoke alarms were going off.
I never even thought about that. Yeah, that's so true.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yeah.
See, I learned something.
So it's based off of how many people go. I am a full-time firefighter just outside of Washington, D.C. I work 10 days a month for the fire department. I've been there for about 5 years. And around year 1... Well, I guess dating back to like when I was a kid, I always had this dream of playing music. I have always loved music. I have always loved the idea of writing music.
Were you in touch of class?
No, I was not. You were though, right?
I was in touch of class.
Here's now where you cut to put that video
Touch
of
of
you
class.
in touch of class.
Yeah, touch of class was my show choir.
Yeah.
Chantilly High School.
I was not in touch of class, but I was in
Lots of
I was
jazz bands.
in chamber chorale.
Did you do choir all 4 years in high school?
So yeah, I kind of like I played lacrosse. I thought I wanted to play sports, and then I just kind of quit. I got injured for a period of time, and I was like, I just don't know if I want to do this anymore. And around the same time that I was going to try out for lacrosse my freshman year of high school, my friends from drama asked me to audition for this play, and I was like, no, I'm not going to, like, nothing against drama,
Yeah.
because I went on to audition.
Did you get it?
I got a part.
Ensemble?
I was like
Supporting character?
Yeah, I was a supporting character.
What was the play?
It was, I forget. It was something that one of our teachers had written.
Oh,
I
okay,
believe.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like just
it wasn't
enough.
like Rent.
No. And then I was like, okay, like the music stuff's cool, and I really like singing. I had always liked singing. I grew up playing in church, and around the same time I was playing the ukulele, and I was probably 15 or something like that, and I was sitting in the basement with my brother and my sister, and she like loved to sing along with this song. And when I was playing on the ukulele, it was a 21 Pilots song, "House of Gold" by 21 Pilots.
All right.
And we were playing this song, and she had this little electric guitar thing. It was like a toy, and if you like press the button, it'd play a nursery rhyme or whatever.
Yeah.
And my brother just like put down his phone, and we took a video of us like playing The House of Gold by 21 Pilots, and we posted it. Well, I was so nervous. I was like, oh, that's a really cute video. But
How old were you?
15 or
Okay.
something like that. 14 or 15 at
Have
the
you
time.
shared this video? I feel like I've seen it.
I don't know if I have. It's pinned on my Twitter.
Oh, okay.
But I was like really nervous about it. I went to bed, and my brother was like, you need to post this. And I was like, no, like I'm not going to post it. That's embarrassing. And I went to bed. My brother posted it on my account, and I woke up the next morning, and it was starting to do pretty well. The video like went on to do like, it was before like TikTok times.
Yeah.
So viral, other than like Vine or whatever at the time,
Right.
like the 6-second videos, for a longer video, it did pretty well. And then some DJ from Arizona or something posted it on his Facebook, and it did like 6 million views on
Jeez.
Facebook. And I don't know, it was crazy. It was like the first time that I was like, wait, like people like seeing people sing videos online. I don't know.
Did you feel the pressure like right away to like put another one out there, or were you just like, nah, that was it?
No, I didn't care at all. People were asking
For more?
Yeah, I was just so in my head.
Yeah.
And I still probably am so in my head about everything. But I was like, I don't want to. So the video started doing well. It was the weirdest experience. You can put this in the podcast or you cannot, but I'll tell you anyway.
Tell me.
We were down in Hilton Head, South Carolina,
Uh-huh.
and it was like shortly after this video was posted, I think, or something like that. We were on a trip, and there were like groups of people coming up to me because they recognized me with my sister, and they're like, "You're the kid from the video."
No way.
Yeah, it was insane.
Dude, you were nationwide.
It was probably that DJ in wherever he was, SoFlo Antonio. I remember his name.
So Flo Antonio. I like that name.
Yeah.
It's a good DJ name.
And he so I don't know, it was like so weird. Like I've like people like posted pictures with me on Twitter, like they would reply to the video. They're like, we ran into Caleb today at this. It was so weird. And I don't know, I feel like that kind of like spurred on a little bit of confidence though. Like I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. So I picked up my mom's guitar and I was playing ukulele chords on it. and just like on the bottom 4 strings of the guitar, just like figuring out if I could get my calluses to the right spot to play guitar. And my mom was like, you know, I can teach you some guitar. So she taught me some guitar, and I started playing in church, and I really enjoyed it. It was super fun. I met like Brad Rhodes,
Melodyne. Shout out.
Melodyne. And
Brad's a great guy.
yeah, great dude. And he was just always so encouraging to me.
Yeah.
And we played some tunes together. I would play at like a local coffee shop. They'd give me free drinks if I like played there. My favorite was the chocolate boba. I'd always get the chocolate.
What coffee shop?
Gyra Bakery and Cafe.
Oh, yeah.
In Centerville. And like right off 28, you know?
Dude, it's next to that, like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Next to that Verizon store that has all the
Wait,
lights
Verizon
around
or
it.
AT&T? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you know where it is, dude. Like, it's not that place, but it's the place next to it.
It's right next to it, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like an old house. It's like such a cool vibe.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize like how sick that was at the time. Like it genuinely is one of, there's more places now, but like at the time, there were not many places that I feel like, other than Starbucks, that were like, it was like a local spot that people went to.
Yeah.
And it like brought people together. And I met the manager, and he was like, yeah, you can come and play some tunes. Like, just play for a little bit. We'll get you connected to a sound system, and you'll play for however long you want. And then we'll give you free chocolate boba.
That's sick.
And so I did that for a little bit, and then I joined choir, and I kept auditioning for more musicals. I hated school, and performing arts was like my escape from that. And around my junior year of high school, kind of ish, I was like just so beat down by school. I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, every report card is like a slap in the face. I was like, my dad, oh, bless his heart. My dad has taken every single class with me.
Your report card was your clay feet.
Yes, my report card was my clay feet. That's what brought the statue falling down, if there was ever anything there anyway. But my dad, both my parents, they have taken literally every single class with me since I went to preschool. Seriously, anything I had to learn, my parents would like essentially go through that class with me.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, my dad sat there for many, many hours with me trying to understand algebra and
Algebra stuff.
chemistry. We have in Virginia, we have the standards of learning test at the end of the year. And I would take the standards of learning tests, and you know, it's like that's what blesses you to move on to the next year of education or whatever. And I would take the standards of learning test, and sometimes I'd pass by just a little bit. Other times I would fail by just like 1 point.
Dang.
And you needed a 400 to pass this math SOL. And I got a 399, retook it, studied as much as I guess could. Probably didn't put all the effort that I could have toward that. And I got a lower score when I
399?
Yeah. It was like 370 something.
Man.
And so I had to go to summer school. I went to summer school for algebra 2, I think.
After your junior year?
I think algebra 1. Yeah, I had to go to summer school. And that was just like kind of the thing. It was like I was so in my head about school. And my teachers would always tell my parents like, yeah, like Caleb's like he's a fun kid to have in class.
He means well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is like the meanest thing you can say about somebody.
Well, I look back and I was so grumpy with my teachers.
Yeah.
But I look back now and like they were all saints because they did not need to put up with my antics.
And they wanted you to win.
I mean, I have stories for days of like just stupid stuff I did in class. But the classic thing that we'd hear during like the parent teacher conference, and my parents, like, they wouldn't even be surprised anymore. They would be like, okay, like this is normal. We know this about Caleb. Like, we love him. You know what I mean? But they would be like,
did your mom ask if you needed better glasses?
No, I didn't even get these until junior year of high school.
Wait, what?
Yeah, maybe sophomore year of high school.
Wait, so when you were like, I can't see the board, that was you were
In high school. Yeah.
I thought you were like 5.
No. But I feel like it probably got worse when I was in high school.
Did it get worse once you had glasses?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
So
Sure. It's getting worse.
my thesis is ruined, but
But they would tell my parents, they'd be like, yeah, Caleb is really good at like derailing the classroom, was what they would say. And I was like, yeah, I like to goof around. 8th grade science class, I walked in on the first day of class and I started talking to the person that I was sitting next to. I knew them from 7th grade. It was like, oh, cool, how was your summer? Like, what'd you do over the summer? Did you take any cool trips or whatever? And I was like talking. She was like, no talking. We're like talking about the syllabus for the year, all this stuff. And she asked me one more time, please stop talking. And she was like, am I going to have to move your seat on the first day of class? And I was like, no, it's fine. You don't have to do that. I kept talking.
jeez.
And
Love that.
I know. Horrible. I feel bad. I feel bad now. I don't know if I did at the time. I'm a little punk. But she moved my seat, and I looked at her, and I was like, I just wanted to let you know, like, no matter who you sit me next to, I'm going to talk to them. So this isn't really going to help. But yeah, so that was just kind of like that was who I was as a student.
Yeah.
Not the best. But I got really tired towards the end of my junior year of high school and kind of leaned in on my guidance counselor at the time, and she was like, let's try to like look for some other options. So they attached to our high school that we both went to is the academy program.
Yeah.
And they will put you through like trade school.
Yeah, like
And
cosmetology.
So, yeah, they have cosmetology, dental assistant.
Oh yeah,
like,
auto
they have
body.
everything. Yeah,
They have like daycare worker.
exactly. They have so many different.
It's like you
things.
can do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's weird because it doesn't feel like it's the same part of the school.
Yeah, you like walk.
You walk
in
down this
back
hallway and you're like, am I still in the same place?
Yeah, but it was like
And it's always
was a
dark. It was always
technical
dark.
school. Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't the same like type of building.
Yeah, and then there'd be like the random kid. They're like, oh yeah, I go to Fairfax High School, and you're like, why are you here?
Yeah, how'd you get here?
They're like, oh, I'm part of the academy.
I took a bus here in the middle of the day. But they had like an EMT class out at Falls Church High School, and I was coming up on my senior year, and one of the security guards, I was friends with all the security guards because I would just go talk with them. He came up to me and he was like, he showed me this article in the newspaper, and he was a retired fireman in Fairfax County. And he was like, yo, dude, this class is sick. They had like a criminal justice class in the academy, but he was like, they put you through like the real like academy in high school. And he was like, you should try to take this class. He was like, if I were you, I would take this class senior year of high school. So I hit up my guidance counselor and I was like, hey, how do we make this happen? And we moved around my schedule my senior year of high school, and I was able to take this class. And
So you knew then, basically.
yeah, around my senior year of high school, that I kind of wanted to like try it. And then I didn't really know how great the fire department was because I had such a bad taste in my mouth from school.
Yeah.
I was worried that I was going to go to the academy and it was going to be the same thing. But it was like the right mixture of like, if you study for 5 hours, you get to play for 5 hours. And then you're in your turnout gear and you're like pulling hose lines. And it was really, really cool. A great experience. And
Did you get to put out fires?
yeah, we didn't get to put out like real fires.
Just fake ones?
Well, they have like props and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
then they have like live burn days. So they like
I just
burn
imagine like somebody with like paper
They're
flames.
like
Yeah,
tissue
just-
paper. They're like,
yeah.
spray the paper.
And then you just like have to spray it.
yeah.
I mean, that'd be fun.
They have like gas props in one of the buildings, the training buildings there, and then they have another building where they burn like pallets and stuff. So it's real fire. It will burn you. Yeah. But,
Yeah. Were you looking for a job in fire? What were you thinking about doing?
Yeah. So I
Doesn't
knew I
sound
wanted
like
to play
college was
music.
in the cards.
I definitely did not want to go to college.
Did you ever pass that SOL?
I did.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're like still taking it.
I had to take it.
How old are you now?
25.
So you're 25 years old, still like
Still taking the
going
math
to-
SOL.
Yeah.
I go to summer school every summer still.
Algebra 1.
Yeah, I've never passed algebra 1.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Good for you, man. Congrats. Congrats on
thank
that.
you. Finally passed the SOL.
Yeah.
It's like the only thing I have on my LinkedIn is that I passed the
Dude, I would.
the algebra 1 SOL.
How many times do you take it? Do you know?
I don't know, like 3 times or something. I think I passed the 3rd time.
Did you ever take the
I actually
SATs?
think that no, I've never taken an SAT.
Yeah.
I think I might have only taken it twice, but I think that was my ticket to summer school was failing it for the 2nd time. They're like, I don't think you can take it a 3rd time.
Oh, you just have to do it.
You go to like a remedial class and you take a final exam.
And you pass that?
Yeah.
Dang, $399 to $370 and then summer school.
Yeah.
What's summer school like? Never. I've always heard of it.
It was one of the more like sad times in my life. I just would get dropped off at our high school.
Would you look around and just be like, man, I'm with these kids?
I was like, I am one of these kids.
I'm one of these
I
kids.
literally was like leading the charge. I was like,
Dang.
it's just like school, but
in the summer.
like half the lights are on.
Yeah.
You're just kind of hanging out.
There's
all
like a
sat
summer
in
camp happening in the cafeteria.
swivel chairs. Yeah, exactly. You look outside and it's beautiful weather. It's not supposed to be that way.
How long does it take? Is it like a whole school
It
day?
really wasn't that long. Yeah, it was a full school day.
And you're just doing math, algebra 1 the whole time?
Yeah.
Dude.
They essentially put you through like the majority of the class. But I made some great friends.
Dude.
Me and my class, we were like,
You were tight?
yeah,
You're like, it's like a war. You're like, man.
we're just going through this
Yeah,
together.
it's tough.
Hold strong, brother.
Dude, I love that. At least it'll be a good story, you know?
Exactly.
At
And now I have
least-
the stories for summer school. Like
Yeah.
I was there. I
I don't
went.
think I'd ever met anybody
I
that
served.
did summer school.
I served
Served.
one hard summer in summer school. Yeah, I went to summer school. Legit.
Man.
And it was cool. It was all right.
It was cool. You're like, it was
It
terrible.
sucked. I was really tired. It was like a lot of math.
Yeah.
And
Dude, algebra all day would be tough.
it just doesn't feel right.
Especially if you're already not good at math. And then they're like, you have to do this all day. That's no one's dream. Especially during the
Not
summer.
at all. And I'm coming home from summer school and like my brothers have been at the pool all day and I'm like, I sat inside all day. I wore a sweatshirt inside all day because it was cold in my classroom. You know what I mean? It's like not right.
The lights weren't on.
Yeah. But it wasn't horrible. It was for better or for worse, whether or
was your
not it
teacher?
was my fault. I forget her name.
As a girl?
We would get bused to Fairfax High School.
Oh.
So it was like summer school
Dang,
was held
dude.
at Fairfax High School.
Yeah.
But they had like a bus pickup at most of the local high schools. And
Man, so you had to commute even further.
yeah. And
Did
I
you have to
sat
take
there
a
with,
bus
like-
to Chantilly and then take another bus?
No, my mom dropped me off, and then I would take the bus from Chantilly to Fairfax.
Be like a full on commuting
yeah.
commuter
It was
schedule.
a full day, man. Yeah, so I hated school. Went to firefighting school my senior year, and I loved it. I loved it. It was like so much fun. And we have the A-B day flip-flop schedule at school.
Yeah.
So I'd go to school on my B day or my A day, one of those days, and the other day I'd be at the fire academy. And it was like 5 hours, but you kind of had to show up an hour early to get your stuff ready, and then we'd clean up for like 30 minutes. So it was like 6.5 hours, but class started at 12. So we'd get there at like 11 or 11:15, start taking out our gear, whatever, and like laying it out in the bay, and get to the classroom, set up the classroom, and it was like kind of the structure that I needed. I respected those guys.
That was at the academy or that was
That was at the fire academy.
Yeah.
And everyone was a senior in our class. So everyone, you just drive there, or like some people had
carpool or
some people
whatever?
took a bus or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really like bonded with my classmates. It was super cool. I realized that a lot of people that were in my class didn't really like they weren't really a fan of the conventional classroom.
Yeah.
But it was like the coolest thing. We'd be like, even if we were doing something that like sucked at the time, like whatever, working out in our gear, they didn't do anything to like beat us down or anything. But like we really learned a lot about respect and the chain of command, and kind of try to stay out of the way of the career recruits that are there at the academy as well. But just like lay low, quiet in the hallways, like stick to one side of the hallway. Kind of very basic stuff, but it was the structure that I needed. And probably it's not paramilitary at all, especially in the high school program, but probably similar to people that graduate high school and go straight into the military. It's like the proper structure that they need for their brain. It just matches right. And I needed that. I really did. Right around that time, it was like, I guess before I graduated, I was like, I'm going to take a gap year because I want to go. That's a whole story in and of itself. But I ended up going on a gap year program. I went on a senior trip with my dad, and my parents were all stoked I was going to have a job like that I was going to aim for. Like, finally, they had helped me find something that was like I loved to do and I was passionate about.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'm going to take a gap year. And they're like, oh, shoot. So my dad and I went out hiking and skiing for a week over spring break my senior year of high school.
Where'd you go?
Utah. We just like talked a ton about the future and what life looked like and what I don't know. It was just really good to be with my dad, just hanging.
Yeah.
And so blessed that I was able to do that with him. But I was like, if I'm going to do this career, I feel like I hadn't left the country at the time. Like I was like, I want to try to do something before I
get tied down.
Yeah,
like start.
Exactly.
Right.
And I didn't know at the time, but like working in the fire department, you can travel like a ton.
Really?
Yeah, if you want.
Oh yeah, you travel.
We work
all the
10
time.
days a month.
Yeah.
Like if you get a few days of leave, like you get 3 days of leave, you get 12 days off.
Yeah.
And so if you want to go to, I mean, dude, people in the fire department travel like all over the world.
That's sick.
It's it is really unique. But I didn't know that at the time. I thought like, oh, I'm just going to be like stuck in Northern Virginia all the time if I get the job with the fire department. And I was like, I kind of just want to go like do something that's like, you know, bigger than just like, what am I going to do after high school?
Yeah.
So I signed up for this program called the World Race. It's like a gap year missions program, and they take like groups of 40-ish students in each group to 4 different countries. And
how many countries?
Of 4.
Dang.
4 countries in 9 months.
Did you like it?
The gap year?
Well, your gap year, yeah.
Oh, loved it. It was incredible.
Some of those guys are still your best friends?
Yeah. We actually see each other every single year.
That's awesome.
I've been in... one of them had like a micro wedding during COVID, but everybody else that's gotten married, I've been in their weddings. They're definitely some of my closest friends.
You guys on like a group chat?
Oh yeah.
Talk every day?
Just about.
That's like the same with the guys from Kilimanjaro. I only spent like 2 weeks of my life with them, but because it was so impactful for me.
Yeah.
We're still in a group chat. Like we'll do like Happy New Year, Happy Birthday, whatever. But like I was even texting with one of them the other day, and I was like, I know that we probably will never see each other again or like never cross paths, but like I would just want to let you know that I think about you like positively. You know, that's kind of a weird thing to say now that I said it out loud. But
no,
like,
that's okay.
Yeah, where I'm just like, man, you're a great guy, and he was just like, LOL, Peter, he's like, you are my best friend that I never hang out with, which is like so true. It's like when you are in a, something impactful, but something.
It's a formative experience that you get to share with somebody else.
And it just builds that connection so much more.
Absolutely. Especially when it's tough.
That's like people, the veterans that fought in World War II, they will go like 50 years without seeing each other. Then there'll be the reunion celebration and stuff. And it's like they never left. And it's just because, I mean, those experiences, there's something to be said about experiences. And I know that like I've had them in my life. It sounds like you had them at the academy in summer school.
Yeah.
And also during the World Race. Did you like the World Race?
I loved the World Race. Like overall, I would say was...
I've heard a lot of it is like it's who you're with too. Like Absolutely. You could be on like a rough team.
I got very blessed with who I went with.
Yeah.
And we always talk about it, kind of like you were saying, like you're my best friend that I never hang out with or whatever. We kind of take it from the angle as like you're the guy that like if I met you in high school, I would not be your friend.
Yeah.
But because we went through this experience together and we spent so much time together, we're just like we're all so close. And I realized like probably halfway through that trip, I was like, I've spent more time with these guys than I have with my brothers, like in the past few years.
Yeah.
And like, obviously my brothers and I have years and years of friendship and brotherhood next to each other. But it was like, I spent months straight, like just about 24/7 with these dudes. And just 7 of us just running around the world.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
We had so much fun.
So you went from never leaving the country to doing like 4 countries in 9 months?
Yeah. And you don't come back home at all, which was super good for me.
Yeah.
I think I needed that.
Was it what you thought it'd be?
No, I had no idea what I was expecting.
Really?
Yeah.
But you just know it wasn't that?
It's kind of hard to have expectations.
That's true. When you're on the, like when you were saying bye to your parents at the airport and like flying to Swaziland or wherever, did you have to do like training or something?
Yeah, they brought us to like a training camp. They called it for like 12 days or something.
Before you left?
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
was it weird saying bye to your parents?
Well, we went to a training camp in like July or June or something like that, and then came back for a month or something, and then we left in September.
Okay.
September 9th, I think we left, and we came back in June, early June. And it was definitely weird saying bye to them. I was so excited.
Yeah, you're 18. Everyone's going off to college.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, we had left after everyone had already left for college. And so it was like I was ready to go. I did not want to be back in Northern Virginia when everyone was off at college.
Yeah.
But I was so excited. And I had started the application process for the fire department before that. And I put in my application like the day I got my high school diploma and turned 18. And started the application process and then sent them an email, and I was like, would you guys mind holding my application for like 9 months because I'm about to go overseas? And the application process takes a little bit anyway.
Mm-hmm. So then when you came back, was it like you had to go right back into the fire, or you had to go to the fire department?
No, there was a brief period of time where I got back and I was just waiting and I felt like I was in no place to ask them to do me a favor. Like,
yeah,
I'm going to send in my application
and
to your job. Do you guys mind holding it for me?
Yeah.
Like I had not that I needed leverage, but there's no reason why they would hold my application. Right. When there's other candidates out there that are coming from other fire departments and have years of experience. And, but I was like, I hope that and luckily they held it. It was a big change.
Yeah.
And just being with those guys every single day. So much fun. I mean, we had so much fun. We all fought. Crazy.
Like good fight or bad fight?
There were like periods of time. And I think that's like the interesting thing is like looking back, they like really encourage you to like push through the hard stuff. And because you're stuck with these people for a long time.
Yeah.
And you live with them, it's not like a coworker that like just annoys you and then you go home every night and you like
you're
sit
stuck with
there
them.
and you like fester on it
and you have to
go
do
back
like
to
3
work.
more countries with them.
Yeah. And you work with them, you share a room with them, you know what I mean? Like you're with each other all the time.
Yeah, there's no
so
break.
There were definitely a few of us that like butt heads. Everyone butt heads with everybody.
Yeah. It's brotherhood. Yeah. Especially like 18-year-old boys.
Totally. And it was 18 to 21. So I was like the youngest. Me and another buddy of mine, one of the guys on the team, he was pretty young too. But it was us too. We were pretty young. And there were guys that were 21 on there. And 18 to 21, I was coming straight out of high school, just like absolute child.
Failing the SOLs.
Exactly. Still trying to pass the SOL.
Yeah.
I had to pass the SOL before I went on the road race.
This is worse than summer school.
It was so much fun though. I had no idea what I expected, and it was such a gift though. But yeah, we definitely all butt heads, and then we got back, and one of our buddies, his dad is a pastor, and he always talks about like finding the few. And he's like, you guys can, the few, whoever that is to you, can live wherever, they can do whatever for work, they can have their separate lives, but you need to find the few, like you were talking about with like your Kilimanjaro guys or hockey team guys, whatever it is. Find the few and lean in on them and do life alongside of them.
Love that.
Even if you're doing life in different locations. Yeah, that's John Tyson.
Of course.
Find the few, John Tyson, 2018. Then I guess it was 2019 whenever he encouraged us to really lean in on the few.
Yeah.
And the few for us was that group of 7 guys. And John Tyson's son reaches out to us in our group chat, and he's like, it'd be cool to like do a reunion. And I was like, I don't know, dude. It seems like a lot. I was ready to make an excuse as to why like we shouldn't do a reunion. And he was like, fine, we'll host the first one. And the Tysons have this small property in Pennsylvania that they very kindly hosted us for the first year.
That's awesome.
And that started, now we're on year 6.
Is it always there?
We're going on year 7 of reunions, and we've gone around and we've visited everyone's hometowns.
They came here?
They've been here. I hosted them
Dang.
in Northern Virginia. I was like, here's my firehouse. Here's Reston. Here's Tyson's.
Here's Bar Taco.
Yeah,
you guys have that where you're from? It's like
yeah.
It's like nothing here is unique.
I
guess Washington D.C.
When I hosted, everyone was in college, and so no one had any money. So our budget was like so small.
Yeah.
We were like, I think I worked a day of overtime, and my parents paid for groceries, and that's how like we were able to make that next year happen. We had so much fun. Like it was just us back together again. It was so special. But
what do you think it is about that like brotherhood? I mean, obviously it's the experience, the shared experience, and everything that you went through. But like, what is it that makes it so unique that you guys only need to get together once a year, and then once you're together, it's like no time left at all? Because me and my college roommates are the exact same way.
Really?
Yeah, where it's like I probably only see them once a year at most.
I don't know.
Dude, it's crazy because Mel, my wife, when she first met my 3 college roommates, she literally said to me, I can't believe that all 3 of you found each other. Because she's like, you guys are so uniquely like individual, but also like all the same that she's like, you know, it has to be the Lord. Like it has to be divine.
No, totally.
Yeah. Where it's just like, you know, and I still, even when I just went to get the battery, my college roommate texted me just a picture, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, it's still just, that's always there. That brotherhood's always going to be there.
Yeah. I had to turn off my
special.
notifications from this group chat because sometimes it gets a little crazy. But then the guys, like some of the guys started having kids. They got married. We were in each other's weddings, and we were like, almost everybody has hosted in their hometown now.
Yeah.
And we're looking for a central location for everybody that was gonna be affordable, and we could all find like flights that kind of made sense. And so this past year we did like Destin, Florida, and we rented a beach house. It was so sick.
Yeah.
But now everyone has jobs, so we can like, our budget's a little bit more.
Yeah. You're not working overtime anymore.
We got buddies that like they have kids, and we set rules like the first year. The first year it was only the guys. Because no one was married yet, and no girlfriends are allowed, no fiancés are allowed. If you're dating someone and you're hosting, they can visit, but they're not going to like stay there for the whole time. And then wives and kids are obviously allowed to come once you have kids.
Yeah.
And So bless their heart. I'm traveling solo, and these dudes are trekking across the country to
with their families.
Yeah, but
Dude,
we
traveling
had
with kids is tough.
we had all of us in the beach house this year. It worked out great. I think we're headed back to the beach this coming year, but it's typically in like late summer. Actually, I don't know. I mean, we're kind of all over the place right now, but I was going to ask.
Bring it back.
You brought up a topic a while ago it was kind of your pastor before he left the church recently challenged you. He was like, you just need to go out on a limb and do it.
Yeah, I remember. It was probably a year ago this weekend, I think, because he left a year ago. And the last thing he said to me was, you need to pull the trigger. And he goes, I don't know what it is, but like, you need to do it. And I remember thinking, I'm like, man, and it stuck with me because I think in a way he's right. Like, I do need to pull the trigger.
Well, I was going to ask, what does pulling the trigger for you look like right now?
I think that doing this podcast is part of pulling the trigger. I think that there's this idea that George Clooney, he does one movie for like the Academy or for the public or for the people, but it's his rule. It's called one for them, one for me. So he'll do like a movie for himself. Like, this is something that I want to do. And then this is something that like I know that I should be doing to advance my career. And I think that for me as like a video guy, it gets tricky to actually continue because I view myself as an artist, but it gets tricky to have your craft not feel like work in the sense of like this. Yes, it is work, but it's fun, you know, like this
I was just thinking about that. Like, it'd be fun to like do this more often.
Let's
like,
do
this
it.
This is a blast.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that it's like, okay, where do I see, I think if I were to pull the trigger or what pulling the trigger means to me, it's like, okay, where do I want to go? Or like, where do I see Peter in 5 years? Going back to that conversation about my kids being like, man, I hope that they don't see that like I gave up or I just clocked my 9 to 5. It's like, okay, if I can see like the best version of myself, like what steps can I take to get there?
Yeah.
And I think that like one, putting myself out there is a big part of it, because so much of it is like, yeah, I can make videos for you and like they're good, but it's never like a video for me. Right. They're like, oh, you probably have like such good photos and videos. And I do, but they're all for other people. They're not for me. And I feel like that's kind of
like Royal and the chicken coop.
The chicken coop one.
That is my favorite video that you've ever done.
Yeah.
Seriously.
And yeah, I mean, that's a great video.
I love that video.
The Coop Master.
Yes, the Coop Master.
Yeah, that was a great video.
But do you like want to do more of that?
Sure.
One for you.
One for me, yeah. Or one for them, one for me. Yeah, like that came together so quickly, and I still have people. Here's the thing, is that I still have people coming up, like you just brought it up. I have people that come up and be like, hey, I watch the Coop Master like once a week.
I've sent that to friends and stuff. Like, that's like, I don't know. Well, Royal's, he's adorable.
Yeah.
But I just love the way that it, like, I don't know.
It's so innocent. Just kids talking about, I mean, it is. And that was literally a moment. I was going to a video shoot.
And he was like,
and he goes, do you ever want to make a video with me? And I said, what do you want to make a video about? And we have chickens in our backyard. And he goes, let's do the chickens. And so I just followed him around the chicken coop and was asking him questions. And then I edited it together in probably like 10 minutes and then posted it and went to my shoot. And I mean, I knew it was, not to sound like into myself, I knew it was good. Like, I didn't think that other people would get as much joy out of it as like I did. But like, yeah, it's a cool like father-son experience, but also, it's kind of a keepsake, I guess.
Absolutely.
That we'll have forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I'll never forget too, was that after we finished filming the chicken one, my leaf blower was out because it was fall, I think, maybe like October. And he was like, how about we do a video about this leaf? And I was like, I got to go.
Yeah, we'll check in on that one tomorrow.
Next week. Yeah. That'll be our next one. So, I mean, maybe there'll be a leaf blower video. But yeah, so I mean, that's like... that I think that's it. Is that just what what do I want? How do I want to advance my craft? How do I want to be the best version of myself, and what steps can I take to get there? And I think that a big part of it is like, okay, well, I need to be seen. Like, and I don't know, it's like, am I going to go do stand-up comedy? I don't think so. Am I going to go do like Saturday Night Live? Probably. But like, yeah, I don't know where it can go, but I know that by at least taking steps, especially if you trust in the Lord, like he's only going to guide you where you're supposed to be.
Absolutely.
Right. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know. I probably should be more calculated with it, but I think that that'll come in time.
I was just listening to a podcast on the way here with James Clear, I think his name is. He's the author of Atomic Habits, or it was the author of Atomic Habits. I think his name is James Clear.
All right.
I'm surprised I don't see Atomic Habits in here somewhere, but
I have listened to it. I've never read it.
He was talking, he actually quoted Sean Puri from My First Million podcast, and he was talking about like, if you set goals, you only need to worry about points A, B, and Z. And like, you know your point A, that's where you are right now. The next step is B. You don't need to worry about like C through Z. You just need to focus on the step that's right next in front of you. So if like in 2026, if that's something that you're passionate about, trying to do like one for you and one for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. What if you challenged yourself to do one video like the Coop Master or something, just like highlighting, not even highlighting, just like documenting the life that you live, or something that like really gets you
Fired
excited.
up.
Yeah.
And
For
I think
every client video that you do, you're going to make a bank of videos that are going to be for you, because you now owe yourself if you're going to try to do
right.
one for one. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would love to see more videos like the Coop Master.
Dude, I'd love to make more videos like the Coop Master. The thing too is that I also have all these scripts that I wrote, because I originally went to college. I wanted to be a screenwriter, and I have like all these scripts. A lot of them are half done, or like basically it's like, here's a good beginning and middle, and then like this is how it's going to end, but it's not like finished. So I would need to revisit them, but like even something in the short like narrative space of like a short film. Yeah, I'd love to do that as well.
I love short films.
Yeah, they're fun. And I feel as if now's the time to do it. I have this one idea. It's called the hermit crab. And it came to me in college one time when I was just hanging out with my friends. It's called the hermit crab. It's about a golfer. And the reason why he's called the hermit crab is because he thinks he's good in the sand. And so he gave himself the nickname the hermit crab. He's like really into himself. He's really pretentious. And so when he plays golf, he always aims for the sand trap, because he thinks that if he gets in the sand trap, he can then get out. That's all I've got. Like, I don't know how it's going to end, but I've been sitting on it forever. I'm like, man, that's a character. Like, that could be a really dry, funny comedy, I guess. And you could take it like super deep of the sense. I
was going to say
like,
that seems like there's like an underlying like,
oh dude, I've thought about the hermit crab. Like, I probably think about it daily, but yeah, just like if you go to the hardest part on the course and you always just try to do that because you like the feeling that you get when you get out. Like, it could be, you could do so much with it. Like,
I was listening to something else earlier about people with ADHD and how it can be dangerous that if you wire your brain to only work whenever there's like a deadline, or even one step further, like crisis.
Yeah.
You have to push, like you won't push hard until you get to a place of crisis.
People love, like that is a thing.
And you get addicted to it.
Yeah, you get addicted to the feeling of crisis and you're like, wow, I'm out of it. It's like a quick little dopamine rush.
Like I did it.
And then you have to get back to that point of crisis.
And then you live your life constantly driving yourself to crisis.
There's this book called Chatter. I forget the guy's name, but I just read it. And he talks about like distancing yourself from your emotions so you're not in a crisis. So, and he does all these studies that show like, okay, if you were in a situation where like your spouse is cheating on you you would react differently than if your friend was in a situation, and like the advice that you would give them if they were in a situation.
Whoa.
And so it's like, if you distance yourself emotionally from a situation, you usually are able to have a better grasp on how to handle it or how to tolerate it. And I think that I'm naturally a distancer, so much so that I need to feel pressure on a project to get completed before I actually can like complete it. And I don't think that's good. But like, I know a lot of editors, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to, like for video, they're like, I'm going to edit this video like 2 hours a day. And they're very disciplined, and I wish I could do that. But like me, I'm like, okay, it's due next week. That means I can start on Tuesday and just crank out 2 10-hour days, and it'll be just as good as if I were to. And like, that's definitely not healthy. That's not a way to go about it.
If not, almost better, which I think could be even worse. Like, you know that in that time crunch, it's like, it's going to be.
Oh, dude. I tell my wife all the time, she hates this. If you wait to the last minute, it only takes 1 minute. And I believe that. Like, I
Whoa.
truly believe that in my soul. That if you, and like, that's not a good thing to believe.
Definitely not.
Because,
But I totally, I feel that.
What if you wait to the last minute and it takes 90 seconds? Like, then it's 30 seconds late.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, that's another thing that I got to work on in terms of self-help. But yeah, I don't know. Have you seen any of the Christmas tree documentaries that I did about the guy named Paulus McKinley?
I don't know if I did.
Dude, those are some videos that I've done for me.
Where'd you do that? Is that on your Instagram?
I'm pretty sure they are. I'm pretty sure they're all over the place. It's just about this guy. One time, my buddy Jay, it was snowing, and Jay came over. He's like, let's make something with this snow. And I was like, what if there's just a guy that loves Christmas trees? And it's just this talking head, like 3-minute video. And then again, we put it out there, and people were like, hey, can you make more of these? And so we did like 3 and 4 years. And we talk about it all the time. Like, I was texting with him last week, just being like, what if Paulus McKinley does this? And we always talk about like the next Christmas tree documentary.
Wait, where'd you put these?
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I need to watch these.
They're definitely on Facebook. They're on social media. If you go to my Facebook page, it's like the last thing I shared.
Devin the sound guy.
Those are classic.
This is what he had in that video. Devin the sound guy.
That exact one.
Yeah.
Dude, what a prop. What a prop to pull out. People were like so confused. They're like, what are these videos?
Yeah, what were you doing in that?
We were just recording sound.
Well, I figured. And then he was like getting the inside of the trash can and stuff.
Yeah.
What was that project for?
We were in Greece with Lon Solomon, who's the pastor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were doing a Footsteps of Paul tour, and he was the sound guy. And that was an unbelievable trip. Like, you see Paul's jail cell. Like the cell that he was in Philippi, the road that he walked on. You're in Patmos in the cave. Which
Where
is
were
like,
you guys?
Where?
I mean, how long were you guys there, rather?
We were in Thessaloniki, Athens. So we were there on the Greece side for like 4 days. And then we took a 3-day cruise to Ephesus.
Wow.
And then we went to Patmos, Santorini, Mykonos on the way back. And then we landed in Athens, took a plane to Rome, and then finished there.
Wow.
So it was I think it was 11 or 12 days total of filming.
That's sweet.
Yeah, it was so fun. And then the next day the day I landed is when the saw fell on my head.
Dang.
Yeah, dude, it was quite a journey.
Welcome back.
Quite a journey.
Yeah.
I was like, this wouldn't happen in Greece. There's no way that this would happen in Greece.
Yeah, I should have just stayed.
No, but I mean, truthfully, like, from a faith standpoint of that project, I just used to always pray, like, God, please open one door. God, open another door. Open another door. Like, I need work. Open a door. Open a door. And I remember there was a lot that went into it, but Lon got my number from a friend, and he was talking to me. And this was like less than a month before the trip. And he called me, and he just said, hey, do you think you could put a team together for this video? And I was like, if I had more than a month, absolutely. I was like, but most people can't take off 2 weeks a month from now to do this. And so I just started calling people, and he's like, let's touch base at the end of the day and just tell me how it is. And so I immediately call our buddy Devin. I'm like, hey, do you think you can do sound? And he's like, yeah, absolutely. He's like, I don't have any sessions. I was like, great. I then call another guy who I'd shot with a bunch. He couldn't do it. He was actually going to be overseas already. And he's like, well, maybe I can get over. And then he was just like, I can't do it. So I spent basically that entire afternoon just calling people. And most people were like, man, I'd love to, but couldn't. And so I was feeling discouraged. And Lon called me that night and he just said, hey, like, how's it coming? How's it looking? And I was like, well, I have a sound guy. And I was like, and I don't know who else is going to be there. Like, what
other pieces of the puzzle did you need at that point?
2 more cameras. And so I was like, I do have a few more leads, but these aren't guys that I've shot with, so I can't vouch for them, right? And I was like, I can vouch for the audio guy. And I was like, but I also feel capable in like what I can do, that like I know that we can bring you something, but I just don't know like what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting in my car. He's praying he's like, let's just pray real quick. And he prays for me on the phone, prays for the trip, prays for the team to come together. And there was this overwhelming feeling that I had in my body during that prayer that I was like, man, this is happening. Like the Lord, like it was just this piece of like, okay, the Lord's in this. Like this is the Lord opening that door, like the answer to that prayer. Now I just need to go find the people, right? And so that I'm in my car. I go inside. Mel's sitting down at the dinner table. I'm like, Mel, I need to find people. I was like, it sounds like it's going to happen. And she's like, okay, what about that guy that goes to Grace Hill, which is our church? What about that guy that was pointed out to you that does video? Do you think he could do it? And I was like, oh, and the week before somebody had pointed out this guy that had done video and been like, oh, you should talk to him. And I didn't get a chance to talk to him, but I was like, so I started texting people. I was like, hey, what's that video guy's name? What's his name? And so my buddy Nathan says, oh, that's Sam. And so I'm like, I text another person, I'm like, what's Sam's number? And we're all of a sudden just like, and I'm sitting at the dinner table, I text Sam, said, hey Sam, it's Peter von Kahle from Grace Hill. I don't know if you know me, but I know you've done video. I was curious if you want to be on a project with me. 2 weeks. I don't hear back from him for like an hour. And he texts me back and he just says, yeah, man, I'm in. He goes, what's crazy is that my wife and I at dinner tonight, we were talking about how I need to connect with you. And then I looked at my phone and had this text. He's like, I'd be dumb to say no. And I'm just like, all right, let's do it. And then I called another friend in Nashville, and she gave me the name of this other guy, Chris. And basically within like 24 hours of that prayer, I had a team together.
Wow.
And it was, one of the greatest experiences I'll have in my life. And then even like, not only being there, but like Lon's teaching is unbelievable, but like sitting back and editing it now. And I'm like, you know, when you're sitting and editing, you're like listening to things like 5-6 times and just like going through acts. It's just, truly, like the work was awesome. The work was a blessing, but even just like learning more biblical history and more biblical knowledge has just been unbelievable.
Yeah.
I actually quoted this the other day when, on Paul's second missionary journey, he goes up through Turkey, modern day Turkey, and he wants to go to Ephesus, which is directly west. And the Lord says no, or he can't get there. So he keeps just going north because that's the only way he could go. And he wanted to cut. Once he got to the Black Sea, he was going to cut to the east because there were some more churches there. And it says that the Lord like closed that gate, like it didn't happen. And so the only place he could go was west again to the Mediterranean Sea. And he is in the Mediterranean Sea, or he's basically staying at the Mediterranean Sea, just being like, where do I go? And he has this dream of a man in Macedonia says, hey, why don't you come across and come to me, right? And so I think about that. That's been the biggest takeaway for me too, going back to what you were saying, was that like, okay, I want to go to Ephesus, but like, what if God's like, hey, I'm not going to take you to Ephesus? But like, I needed to have a desire to get to Ephesus in order to keep going. And then, all right, well, plan B is going to go to this other area, Bithynia, I think. And, but like, I'm going to say no there, but like, eventually you're going to end up there, and then I'm going to reveal it to you. It's not like God could have revealed to Paul in Antioch and just said, hey, why don't you go to Macedonia? He could have given him that dream there, but like, basically Paul had to have no other options and no other desires and basically be stuck facing the Mediterranean Sea. And then God's like, all right, I'm going to give you this dream. And he goes over to Macedonia. And then that's basically all of a sudden he's in Europe and spreading the gospel in parts of the world that had never heard it. And so it's just crazy to think about.
Yeah, and all the steps between when he started heading north, all the different places that he went between. I mean, every single night. I mean, this isn't like a 2-day thing.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everywhere he spent a night, everywhere he came in contact with people and was sharing the gospel along the way. And I don't know. And how much more grateful are you for that opportunity because you saw God's hand moving in that opportunity?
Oh, totally.
Than if you got the call from Lon and he's like, hey, I already have a team. I just need you to like run the team. Like,
yeah,
you would still be grateful for the opportunity, but now you're sitting here editing months later and you're like, this is just a crazy testimony of God's goodness.
Yeah, God was in it all. And like I said it before, God put the team together, and like there was no doubt in my mind that like, one, I was supposed to be there, and like that was a trip, like just God showing his goodness and his answer to prayers, but also that like everybody else on that team was also supposed to be there. Because, you know, my buddy Tom, when I called him, he could have been like, yeah, absolutely. You know, other friends here could have been like, oh yeah, absolutely. I definitely could do it. So, man, it was, that is an experience and a job that I will always remember. And I hope to never forget like just how faithful God was in it.
I feel like I always come to these like, they seem like pinnacle moments in my life, and then you, like, life moves on, and I never want to forget. You know what I mean? It's always.
Oh yeah. You know, I wrote, not to make this about me.
No. I like hearing it.
But I wrote this devotional the other day, and I think it was for our church, and I think it was more.
Was it the one that you sent me?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Did I send it to you?
I think so.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, just so it talks about in Exodus, you know, all the plagues that, you know, God's people are in slavery and God frees them and they have all these plagues. They see miraculous sign after miraculous sign. They go through the Red Sea. All of a sudden they're in the desert. They're praising God. And then 3 days later they're traveling and they're thirsty. And they're like, what in the world? Like, I thought that we were free. And it's like, you are free. Did you not just forget that like God parted the Red Sea to get you here? And it's like so much like, yes, they probably thought that the promised land was on the other side, or yes, they probably thought like, oh, I will no longer be thirsty once I'm free. But like spiritual freedom doesn't necessarily mean that a lack of thirst or a lack of more or a lack of something else. And sometimes God has to bring you to certain places, just like he did to the Israelites, just like he did to Paul. God has to bring you to certain spots so that you can solely be, or like, I guess, have the ears or solely be relying on him and able to call out to him.
Absolutely.
And the beauty in like God revealing a stick or a log to Moses, and he throws it in the water, and all of a sudden the bitter water's sweet and they can drink it. Mm-hmm. And like Jesus dying on a cross, like there's so much in that story, just basically the gospel thousands of years before the gospel's even shown, that like it's hard not to look at that and just be like, meh, you know?
Yeah.
Like God is working, and it's the same God that revealed to Moses the log is the same God that was with me when Lon called me. It was just like, all right, well, I'm going to trust you to put together a team. Because when he was trusting me, like he was trusting God, but like even more so, like I had to trust God. And yeah, I mean, it's special. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and my dad uses this analogy pretty often with me, but he says, like, in Christianese, if you will, like in the church, you often hear people say, like, oh, God's going to, like, please open another door. Like, it's just such a common term that's thrown around the church. But my dad has encouraged me to, and kind of, like, back to that point of, like, the ABZ thing, is, like, you can be praying for doors or opportunities or another job or a new whatever, and there might be a door that's there that you can clearly see, an opportunity, a dream, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Whether that's the podcast for you or more videos or whatever, but then to take the leap of faith and trust God that he's going to like carry you through that and then to go up to that door, and it may not be open.
Right.
You may not see from however far away from that door you are that it's an open opportunity, that it's safe on the other side, whatever. You just have to trust God, and you have to go up to that door, and it may feel like you're walking out on a limb sometimes to even get to that door, and you just grab the handle, and the door just flies open.
Yeah.
Or it may sit at the door for a little bit and like fiddle with it, and then it flies open. Who knows? But like, I don't know. It's such a good testimony of God's faithfulness. God
is faithful, and He provides, and I never want to forget that. You know, I think it's easy to forget. You see the disciples all the time forgetting, just like witnessing the miracles that God did, and they're like, "Well, who are you?" And He's like, "What do you mean? Like, didn't you just see?" But like, God's gracious too. He doesn't hold that against you. Like, I think we're gonna have to do another episode.
I think so too. We'll pick it up next time.
For your glory, we know at least it'll be a good story.